a ChatGPT style way to communicate with the database.
Can we say when was the last time they updated their website, for example? Can you shoot that?
Interesting. Not quite to that level, but perhaps some things can be inferred when they started the business. Perhaps like it can be inferred that shortly after they put a website together, or is there a website linked to their business pages per se? So there's ways of finding certain information by combining different data points. So the exact data point might not always be there, but certain things can be inferred with very high likelihood. So one thing we do actually, which is really cool that other providers aren't quite doing, is this prediction data. So what happens when you can start to add data points to predict the future outcome? So this really started, and I'm surprised it hasn't been really like focused on by other data providers, but not to talk or not to like bring a sad incident into the conversation, but for an example's sake, the 9/11 tragedy that happened in New York. Prior to that, there's a lot of data privacy and security rules. So it was very hard to gather a lot of data because people didn't want to expose their information naturally. But after that incident happened, there was a couple data providers that realized they actually could have predicted the criminals that did that hijacking. It was about 10 out of 15 of them or so, using their data. And they found some very interesting things, like if people share an address more than once, you can infer a relationship. Makes sense, right? Okay. If people are sharing an address, if people open up a credit card within a week and spend $100,000 and have those shared addresses, usually there's some kind of criminal-like activity going on. So that really opened up my eyes and our eyes to where the missing piece of data right now. In most cases, people would just go to a data platform and say, hey, I want these people, or I want this person's contact information. But why not like combine some data points and like tell a story and figure out where they're going to be before they're even there? And that's where I think it gets really interesting.
I never heard of this. Interesting. The reason I'm so particularly interested and ask such a specific example too is because we obviously used to be web development first agency, so we were focusing on the websites first. So we were looking for some kind of data provider that can give us like this specific numbers or the specific data points.